My name is Eric Solonic. I'm an applications engineer with Stored Energy Systems. Today we're talking about the SuperTorque 8Z, which is the brand new product from Sense. We're here in one of the manufacturing cells for the new SuperTorque 8Z, and we'll walk through the product today, its features and its functions. The SuperTorque 8Z is what we call an integrated genset starting system. And today in a given genset application, you'll have a set of starting batteries, you'll have a dedicated battery charger, and you'll have all the interconnect wires for those components. What we have in the SuperTorque 8Z is all those components are located in a single unit. And that single unit is what we call the 8Z. The 8Z weighs about 90 pounds. Inside of the SuperTorque 8Z is a nickel-zinc battery bank. So nickel-zinc is a chemistry that's been around for a long time. We partnered with a company called Zinc 5. And Zinc 5 manufactures batteries for many different applications, including central UPS storage for data centers. This here is that nickel zinc battery. Inside of the 8Z is up to 2 of those batteries. We also have on board a Sense MicroGenius 2 battery charger. The MicroGenius 2 is a switch mode battery charger, and we have tens of thousands of those in the field today in critical power applications. In addition to the battery charger and the batteries, we have onboard controls that govern the power from the charger to the batteries. So we not only have sophisticated charging algorithms that make sure that our chargers are properly charging to full capacity in genset applications, the nickel zinc chemistry, but we also have hardware that limits and controls the current to those batteries. In addition, we have our communication set and our user interface. So looking now at SuperTorque 8Z user interface and communications options. The base level of the SuperTorque 8Z will have LED indication of DC system health and AC system health, as well as Form C relay contacts and a USB-C interface. We can then upgrade to this display keypad, as well as serial Modbus and J1939 CAN bus communications. The top level communication and interface package will include the keypad and display you see here, as well as Ethernet communications. And on Ethernet, we can support TCP/IP Modbus, as well as other protocols as needed in the application. So looking at our SuperTorque 8Z connections, on the top surface we have our main battery terminals, which will go to the engine starter. The standard terminal is an M8 threaded insert, so you can attach a ring lug and a bolt for connection here. There's an optional terminal of an SAE battery post type, so you can use your existing cables in the field. Here under this shroud is our AC connections and our communications connections. For AC, we have locking type IEC connectors, as well as an option for hardwired input. We have 2 Form C relay contacts and a pluggable terminal block for communication. We also have an Ethernet port, RJ45 type, and we have serial RS485 communications, which would include Modbus. And we also support J1939 CAN bus on the SuperTorque 8Z. There's also an additional USB-C interface, which will allow for diagnostics, service, and field updates for the SuperTorque 8Z control system. The SuperTorque 8Z is a product that really revolutionizes the genset starting application. So today, the most common batteries in genset starting applications are lead acid type. Lead acid batteries come in an array of different sizes and forms. The most common for large gensets is an 8D battery. So for a lead acid system today, you'll have to purchase 4 batteries and install those batteries and commission them in the application. You'll also have to purchase between a 20 amp and a 50 amp battery charger for those lead acid batteries. That whole system will need to be calibrated, configured, and deployed into the field. For the SuperTorque 8Z, all of that functionality is provided in one unit. So instead of having between 10 and 14 different cables that connect to your DC system, with the SuperTorque 8Z, we connect negative wire to our starter, an AC cord for AC power to the charger, and 1 communications cable, and the whole system is deployed and ready for use. In addition, for the SuperTorque 8Z, over those 10 years, there's no need to maintain the batteries. The only thing we would check regularly would be the torque on the connections, both at the SuperTorque 8Z and at the starter. Beyond that, there's no maintenance required. For a lead acid system, that system needs to be maintained by certified technicians every 6 months. and the lead acid batteries will need to be replaced in the field between every 18 and 36 months. So all of this gives us that TCO advantage. So while the SuperTorque 8Z does have a higher upfront cost, over the course of those 10 years, there's no operating expenses and no replacement expenses. And therefore the SuperTorque 8Z has that great TCO reduction. One SuperTorque 8Z, which you see here, has the same starting performance as 4 lead acid AD batteries and their dedicated charger. So we're reducing the footprint in the genset enclosure by greater than 75%, and the SuperTorque 8Z has a total weight of less than 1/7 of a lead acid solution in the genset today. The SuperTorque 8Z has many different benefits we look at for genset starting. The first is the long life. The nickel zinc chemistry lets us deploy a battery starting solution that's unlike anything in the market today in this package size. The nickel zinc batteries and the SuperTorque 8Z come with a standard 10-year full replacement factory warranty.